digging that little vibe. Hello, people. Welcome to a new show. So we have restructured the whole of our YouTube, and we have set up a new intro and started a new podcast, a shared podcast, and it's called Footy Talks Show. So I'm going to welcome in the co-host Adam. How are you this evening, Adam?
I'm good, thank you, Jamie. How are you?
I'm very, very well, thank you. So basically, people, we are here to do a Euro predictor. I know I've already done it by myself, but we're going to do this for the Footy Talks show. So just as a little intro into the Footy Talk show, it's me and Adam, who's AGN Entertainment, and we're going to upload specifically on this, whereas before we were uploading just videos, we were making podcasts, we had the Euros show, we had the Odyssey of Arsenal, where it all predominantly just be on the Footy Talks show, all in one place, so it's all easy for every single one of you, and it's easier for the both of us, where we can just specifically upload straight to the playlist over on Jamie Waffles Footy, but it is both of our podcast. So there's no one better than the other. It's both of our podcasts, both hosting. I'm the host, he's the co-host, but it's just simple as that. So what we are doing today, people, we are doing a predictor of the knockouts. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it up on your screen. Are you okay with that? Just start straight away with that, brother.
Yes, let's go ahead. Let's get straight into it.
Right. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this on your screen now. Let me come back over. Does that come up on your screen?
It has indeed, Jamie. Yes.
Yeah, it's just my laptop's very, very laggy, people. And just to let everyone know, we need you to hit that free punch combination. So bam, 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 by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. Because this is a brand new show, brand new graphics. It looks very, very swell. So, Adam, we're going to move on over to the first fixture, which is Spain versus Georgia. Where do you think this one is going, brother?
I hate to be very, very predictable, but I
Yeah.
can't see Georgia. They've done very well to get to this stage. So let's give them their flowers for that. But it's going to be a convincing Spain win, Jamie. 3 or 4-0 for me.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I've on my prediction, which I've literally just done today as well. Also, you're going to be seeing this later, people, but I've just come off doing this by myself. But I said it would be a 3-1 Spain win, and I thought I can't. I always butcher people's names. You know this, Adam. I start calling people some mad names like Carvalashvili, whatever his name is. I'll end up calling him John Hartson or something by accident. That's the type of geezer I am. So we are going for we'll do our score predictions with this, people, keep people enticed. So Spain, we'll just say a 3-0, 3-1 victory. So Spain go through is what we're thinking. Right, moving on to Germany versus Denmark. What are you thinking, Adam?
Again, to be predictable, but I think Germany will convincingly beat Denmark. They did look pretty good against us, didn't they, Jamie? But
Yeah, they
is
did.
that because we played so poorly? I don't think the Germans will give them a look in. So I'm going to go for a run of the mill 2-0 Germany win.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that. I think that Germany will give them a good pounding. I think that they're too strong with the likes of Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz, Gundogan. Have you even looked at their keepers list, bro? Do you know what their keepers are?
To
They've got
Stegen,
yeah, to Stegen, Maignan Noir, Bernd Leno, and
Neuer,
Baumann.
Leno. Oh, what a lineup. What an
Yeah,
incredible lineup of keepers
yeah,
that
and
is.
obviously they've got Florian Wirtz, Jamal Musiala, they've got Kai Havertz, they've got
Yeah,
Fulkrug, who's
yeah.
been very, very good. I didn't realise his age though. I think we spoke about this on the previous pod, but he's 31 years old, Fulkrug.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't
I
it?
thought he was a lot younger than that, so we hadn't seen him, but he's obviously just broken through now.
He has, yeah, yeah. I remember he scored a pretty good goal at the World Cup, but I've forgotten who it was against. But it was a heck of a finish. Smashed it in.
Yeah, yeah, very, very good
Powerful
player.
striker. Very good
Yeah,
shot on him.
yeah, definitely, and he's good in the air as well, isn't he?
Very
Very good
much
in the air.
so. Very
Yeah, so
much
we're
so.
going for a Germany win over Denmark, where I
Yep.
thought I'm thinking I'm thinking it'll be a 3-1 win to Germany. What's your score
Hmm.
prediction, bro?
Very similar. 2-0. So
2-0. 2-0. Right. Moving on over to Portugal versus Slovenia. Now this is where it gets a bit That's what I thought. I'll let Adam take the lead. Portugal versus Slovenia, because I don't know if you're going to say the same as what I said. But we have to agree. We have to come to unanimous decisions on these.
Portugal, Slovenia. Yeah. So I mean, it's a really strange one, this, because if you had asked me this question before yesterday's game, I would have said a convincing Portugal win. But it's not so clear cut now, is it? Because they were so
No.
poor against Georgia. Um, and they, it's not as if they sort of rested their main stars. They had a pretty full attacking lineup against the Georgia.
I thought they did actually rest a few people. A little bit,
Yeah,
not too much. It
yeah,
weren't a massive second string squad, but it was like they did rest a
yeah,
couple here and there. But well,
yeah,
I'll go with what I think first, because
yeah.
otherwise I might entice you a little bit by going, "Oh, you don't know what I think," kind of thing. But I said this would be a tight game, and I said that Portugal would do them in extra time.
Yeah, I think that is probably what I was edging towards as well. A narrow win,
Mhm.
but not a particularly convincing one. I think Portugal will get through, but I think it will be a tight game, as you say, Jamie. I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest that Slovenia can probably hang in there for, most of the game.
Yeah,
And obviously it depends on Portugal's players, their star players, as to whether they're going to perform or not. But I
yeah.
think I'd probably go 2-1 after extra time.
Yeah, we talked about this. They've got a lot of firepower up front. They've obviously got Diego Jota. They've got Gonzalo Ramos. They've got Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously, we can't forget about Cristiano. They've got Bernardo
Yes,
Silva. They've got Rafael Leao. They've got
yes,
so much star quality in the
they do.
attacking positions. Even in defence, they do. They've got it
Mm,
everywhere. They're just
they do.
packing. They're just absolutely packing, and not in a derogative term, people, but they are packing. I was talking about this earlier, Adam. I'm just going to move on to something else. The small teams, what the so-called small teams in
Mm,
brackets, there is no
mm,
small teams no more. So
mm.
what I was putting out there earlier when I spoke on Slovenia, Slovenia have the likes of Benjamin Sesko, they have Ilicic coming off the bench, they have Oblak in goal. These players are playing at the top level. These
Yeah,
smaller clubs, everyone goes smaller clubs. They've got players what are playing in Serie A, Bundesliga, Premier League. They're not smaller clubs no more. They're not. They're
no,
really, really ain't. It's really tight. I mean, people thought that
yeah,
we'll go slap Slovenia, but like it ain't
yeah,
like that no more. People, it's not. They're all playing at the highest possible level.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I thought I'd just touch on that. So we're going for Portugal through, yeah.
Portugal, yeah, yeah, and to make the point, Jamie, I think I was thinking about obviously England. I know we're going to touch on England in a minute, but
Mhm.
people are very critical of England, and the one caveat that I would say is that have the French dominated? No,
No,
they've drawn against Poland. That was a tight game. They had a
Mhm.
very tight 1-0 in one of their other games, and they weren't convincing in that either. So, what you're actually seeing is no team, even the stronger teams, aren't dominating in the way that people think that they will. Obviously, Georgia beating the likes of Portugal, um, French struggling a little bit. Poland obviously went out in fourth place in their group, but they
yeah,
still managed to get something off the French. And I think the only team you could say that have dominated are the Spanish. Spanish
yeah,
getting
it is, yeah,
9. So I don't think perhaps that the criticism, I think it's valid in the way we're playing, but I also think that perhaps people should look at the other big countries as well.
yeah,
Um,
exactly right.
in dominating in the way that the form and their players suggest that they would.
Yeah,
So I think
because
it's a sort of nuanced argument. Yeah.
I looked at something earlier as well. You know how
Mm.
I know we're talking about England a little bit, but do you know how like they're saying Declan Rice was so poor? Do you know he's had
Yeah.
the third most passes in the whole tournament?
Mm.
He's had 193 passes. Do you know who's had the most accurate passes with 96.5%? Want to take a guess?
It's not Declan, is it?
No, no.
Not
Do you want me to
Declan.
give you a kind of a clue? I'll give you a clue.
Give me a
Plays
clue.
for
I'll
Arsenal.
give
He
it.
plays for Arsenal, but don't play for England. Think of who's a good passer from Arsenal, and he always smashes it in the passing department for Arsenal.
It's Martin Odegaard.
He's not at the tournament, bro.
No, he's not in the tournament. Sorry, that was.
Do you want me just to let you know who it is? Pass
Is he a
completion, right? Huh?
midfielder? Is he a
No,
midfielder?
no.
No,
Think
not Kai Havertz, is it? No, you're
William
gonna have to
Saliba.
tell me then, Jamie.
William Saliba.
Saliba for the French.
Yeah, 96.5% passing accuracy that, so far this tournament, the highest in the whole competition.
Yeah, wow, that's
And he's
very
playing at left
impressive.
centre back as well.
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily think that, would you? For
Yeah, yeah,
passing,
yeah,
obviously he's rock solid, but
yeah. But his passing's really good for us as well. He's always
it is.
consistent with his passing.
It it is.
When
He's
do you ever
very
see him
good.
really put a pass wrong?
No, that's very true. Actually, not
Yeah,
only
but
does
yeah,
he
he's a little
pass
stat
well.
for you there, people. 96.5%
Oh,
passing
there we go.
accuracy for
There we
Saliba,
go.
and he would have had 3 clean sheets as well, unless until France conceded in that last
Yeah,
game where they drew.
yeah.
So France, Belgium, like I've just touched on, the best defense in. They've only conceded one goal, so the best defense in the competition so far. I'm going. What I went for was I said it'd be a tight game. I think it'd be 1-0
Mm.
France.
Yeah, I think that's a very good shout. I think Belgium, Belgium France on paper is not worlds apart. The two teams have both got talented sides. I think obviously Lukaku at the moment couldn't hit a barn door, could he? I mean, he
No.
looks like his form's gone out the window
Leading
completely.
scorer
In
going into
fact,
this competition was 16 goals as well.
it's crazy, isn't it? It seems to be that when he gets to tournament level, very good
Yeah,
striker, but when he gets to tournaments, he just can't do it, and it's very odd.
completely
Um,
agree.
But I would concur with your assessment of that game. I think the French will win that. It will be tight, but they'll get over the line because they always do in
Yeah,
tournaments.
yeah, because when obviously when I did the live before, Ben, shout out Ben Port, he came in and he said that he thought it'd be like a 3-2 or a 2-2 kind of game. And I said, I don't
Mm,
think it would be. I said it can go either way. It could be like a
mm.
massive scoreline or it'd be a tight game, which I think it would be. He might have said that about the France Portugal game, maybe, and maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I will put France through. I was saying about a 1-0 and you've agreed. So Romania, Netherlands, if you want to go first, mate.
Yes, so I think the Netherlands will win that. I think it's a very odd one with the Netherlands coming third place because again they've got a talented squad. They've got some good players in there. But again, the fluency. I mean, they were in a tough group. To be fair, it wasn't the easiest group for them. But I would back them to beat Romania. So I think they'll win that 2-1. I think again it will be fairly
Yeah,
tight. I don't think we're going to be seeing high scoring games that are very one-sided. I just don't see that. Apart from the likes of maybe Spain versus Georgia, I don't think we're going to
mhm,
see that widely throughout these last 16 games. I think it will
yeah.
be tight, but I think the Netherlands will prevail and win the
Yeah,
game.
so do I. I think it'd be a really, really tight game as well. I think that Romania may go 1-0 up at some point as well.
Hmm.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. I
Yes.
think it'd be a 2-1 Netherlands win. I think maybe Romania go up, Netherlands get one back, and then they score with a Weghorst, whatever you want to call him, Wout Weghorst, a late header towards the latter end of the game. So we're going to put through Netherlands.
Yeah.
Moving on over to Austria versus Turkey. I'll take the lead on this one, and I'm just going to say straight up that I think Austria will go for it. I think that Austria are going to be too strong for Turkey, and I think
Mm.
I had these as my dark horse, and they're looking very, very good. They're looking convincingly very, very good defensively, and then they're popping up and getting goals as well. But I
Yeah.
think I think this is a 2-0 win for Austria.
Completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree with that, Jamie. I think Austria are just too good. I think Turkey have done quite well to make it to the last 16.
Yeah, same as me.
Um, and yeah, Austria to win that one.
Yeah, moving on over to the big boys, to the best team in the whole tournament. Yeah, right. So we have England versus Slovakia. I think this is going to be a really, really cagey game. I really do. I think
Yes.
I think that we'll win this match 1-0. That's what I'm thinking. I think
Yes.
England will go through. We'll win 1-0.
Yes. Yes. So so I was talking to Clock and Curtis, who of course you know as well, Jamie, last
Yeah,
night,
yeah, yeah.
uh, about this game, and we both agreed with your assessment that it's going to be tight. And I think
Yeah.
my prediction was 1-0 after extra time. I don't think
Yeah,
we will
I
even win
thought
it
that as well.
in
Extra time
90.
around that time as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I can see that being certainly that way. Wouldn't necessarily even rule out penalties. Let's hope not, but let's hope
Yeah,
we can
me
win it
too.
1-0
Hmm.
in 90. Ideally 90, but hopefully in 120, if not in 90.
Yeah, 100% agree with that one. Hopefully, people, what we've got to look at. So, obviously, looking at this draw, can you see the cursor, the mouse, bro?
Yes.
Yeah, so everyone can see this. So, from there, all the way up. So Belgium to Spain. Look at them teams there. You've got Spain, Germany, Portugal, France, Belgium. You've got all the hard, you can say the harder teams, the higher ranked teams in the world rankings, who we all know to be the bigger teams. And then our side, we've got these lot here. So we've actually landed on our feet with the easier end of the draw. But you can't say things are easier, but you can at the same time because
Hmm.
we're facing Slovakia and France are playing Belgium. Look at them two quarterfinals, people: Spain, Germany, Portugal, France, where we're looking at Netherlands and Austria on the other one. So they are this
Yeah.
has the potential for an underdog story, I think. But
Yes.
England have ended up on the better side of the draw, and I think a semi-final is absolutely minimum because we've got
Agree.
to be. You agree, bro?
Completely agree.
Yeah, completely agree. Anyway, shall we move on over to Switzerland versus Italy? I'm gonna let you take lead with this one because I already know who I think will go through in this.
Hmm. I haven't been overly convinced by the Italians. I think I was talking to a couple of people about the Italian side. I said I wasn't particularly convinced with them, but they do have a lot of tournament nous, and they are one of those sides that can just turn up and get a result, grind a result out of somewhere. I wouldn't be that surprised if they were able to do it against Switzerland. But that said, on form, you would have to pick Switzerland because I think they've been more fluent of the two sides. So on this occasion, I'm not going to go with Nous, tournament Nous, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Italy win. But my prediction is going to be that Switzerland just pip Italy in a tight game, perhaps 2-1 score line, I would go for. So that would be an England Switzerland quarter final
I
if that
completely,
comes to pass.
I completely agree. I put Switzerland to go through as well on the predictor. I specifically said Switzerland versus Italy, and I said that they'd either win in extra time, Switzerland, or they'd win on penalties. I
Yeah,
think there could be
good
1-1
shout.
draw, and then maybe potentially Switzerland do it in extra time. But we're both in agreement that Switzerland would do it. So we both have predicted Switzerland. So the quarterfinals, we have Spain versus Germany, Portugal versus France, the Netherlands, formerly known as Holland, versus Austria, and England versus Switzerland, which are some very, very juicy ties. Spain, Germany. What are we thinking on that one? It's such a hard one. I think I said Spain have looked very, very good, but
Mm.
this is where the experience kicks in. Home soil. I think Germany, with the likes of Jamal Musiala, they've got Tony Cruz. They've got this experience in the squad where I don't think Spain. I might be wrong saying this. I don't think they have as much experience as what Germany's squad has.
Yeah. I think that's pretty good analysis, Jamie. I think Germany have home form. Yeah,
Yeah,
playing in front of their adoring fans. We know how big their support is for them, and I think it's difficult to see anything other than a Germany win, just because it's being played in Germany, and also the talent that they've got in their side. They've got such a wealth of diverse amount of talent in every position going, pretty much. So
I completely agree.
yeah, so I mean, I think it's hard to see past a Germany win, despite the fact the Spanish have been so comprehensively fantastic so far in the tournament. I think it's very hard to sit here and say that Spain will advance over Germany. It would take
Mhm.
a very brave man to make that call, and I'm not brave enough, so I'm going to go with Germany.
What's your score prediction?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. I think Germany will beat them with a scoreline of 2-1.
I'm very, very similar. So I think Germany will go through. I think it will be a 3-2 win for Germany. I think it'll be a very high scoring game. Um,
Yeah,
I could see a Florian Wirtz and a Kai Havertz brace. Kai Havertz
yeah,
does always step up in these big games, and I think that
yeah.
it could be 2-2, and Kai Havertz steps up in the 70 to 80th minute. Keep your receipts, people. Keep your receipts. And just to stop at that point, whoa, stop. Hit that three punch combination. You see you, bam, bam, bam. So hit the comment, like, and subscribe down below. Moving on over. So we have plugged Germany to go through. Portugal versus France is a big, big, juicy tie. Let's get ready to rumble. Sorry if I have just
Oh, it's
blues
so
people's ears
difficult.
off. Mm. So I'll take lead.
Yeah.
Portugal, France. Do I go different to what I just predicted before, so I can win either way? Because I've only done one prediction. I could do the other
Yeah.
one, but I think Portugal have got a very, very strong attacking side, but
Mm.
France are too good defensively. I think France win this 1-0.
Yeah. I think
They
I
turn it
think this
on
is
in the
going to be.
knockouts as well, don't they, mate? They turn it on in the knockouts.
They do. They do. They just find a way to win. And obviously, we're not talking about Champions League tonight, but it's very similar in the Champions League. These teams with Nous are able to get through. You know, the Real Madrids, for instance, they just managed to get through. And on an international level, the French are the equivalent of the Real Madrid side, really,
Yeah.
in that sense. So I think they'll pip them just. But I can see a very, very tight game here that's going to be won in a single moment. Um,
Mhm.
and I think I can possibly see extra time and or penalties
Yeah,
for this
I can
one.
agree with that.
So I think I'm going to be bold and say that my prediction is 1-1 and France to win on penalties.
There you go, bro. I can agree with it. I think anything like that could happen.
Yeah.
Little do we know, Portugal go and smash them 3 or 4-0, and you're watching it back right now, laughing at the both of us. But there you have it. France to progress. Netherlands versus Austria. Are you wanting to take lead on this one?
Yeah. So I think the problem for the Netherlands is I think we've seen that defensively there's something missing there.
Hmm.
See, their last group game, they lost 3-2, which shows
Yeah.
that there is defensive frailty that can be got at, that can be, attacked. Um, they look fairly fluent going forward, but are they defensively sound enough to get over the line? And obviously, this is going to be a pressure game for them. It's a quarter final of the Euros. So I think this is a very difficult one to call for me, Jamie, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
I can see a pretty even game. And it's very, very hard to know who to opt for. This is probably the most difficult one
It's the
of
most
all
difficult
of
one out of
these
all of
four
them.
ties
I'll,
for
I'll
me.
tell you what I think, and it might make you go towards it. I think Austria will win 1 or 2-0. I don't think Netherlands score.
That's a very interesting prediction, actually, because we saw something very similar, didn't we, in the Euros? I don't know who they went out to now. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was a game they were expected to win. Jamie, do you remember
The
it?
Netherlands.
The Netherlands. I think it was in the last Euros.
Yeah, was it? I
Um,
think it was against Ukraine.
that's right. Yes, and Ukraine beat them 2-0.
Yeah, because we were expecting to get Netherlands, I think, and then we ended up getting Ukraine in the semi-finals.
That's
Was it
it.
the semis?
Yeah.
No, it
So
was the quarters because we played Denmark in the semis. We played
yes,
round of 16 was Germany, then it was Ukraine, then it was Denmark, the Danish.
yes, yes, and
I
you're
don't know if
right. I think
I
something.
think I'm right, but I might
You
be.
are,
But
you are. I'm sure you're right because I remember sitting there watching it on telly and being profoundly shocked because I think the Netherlands were,
hmm,
the Netherlands are normally the favourite when it comes to these games.
mhm.
But I think
I
I
think they're
think I
so
probably,
even. Like people wrote
yeah,
off Austria, and I
so
said
high.
no. Do you remember on that pod? Remember I told you on that podcast with Kevin Sparks, and I
Mm,
said to them both, Austria will go through, and they both said no, Poland. But Kev was and ah, and he was 50-50, but Sparks was certain.
yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna take a profound leap of faith and say that Austria will pip them just.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on over then. England versus
Mm,
Switzerland, which I think can be a very, very dicey game for us.
mm,
I think this one, if we go through that other game, I said on my previous one that this would go to penalties, but now
yeah,
looking at it, if we go and beat Slovakia and Switzerland have that hard game against Italy, I'm going
yeah.
to 2-0 England win.
Yeah, I
I
can
think
see
pick up a
that.
bit of momentum, maybe, hopefully pick up a bit of momentum. Bukayo Saka
Yeah,
breaks.
yeah, yeah. That would be
I win.
nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, do you find? I think. Do you find that in these tournaments, what I seem to find with Gareth Southgate's sides, they never play normally well, apart from the France game in the World Cup, where I thought we were outstanding, very unlucky to
yeah. Me
go
too.
out.
Yeah,
But generally speaking, I find that we sort of build momentum as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, I
Now,
agree.
yeah, so obviously the group stage, we normally draw a game. So we drew against the United States, I believe it was 0-0 in the World
Yeah, we did.
Cup.
Yeah, no,
And
no, yeah.
then in the Euros before that, there was a 0-0, I think, with
What was that? Not against Scotland or Wales?
Scotland. Yes, that's right. Scotland it was, wasn't
Scotland.
it?
Yeah.
So we beat the Welsh, but we drew with the Scottish.
Mhm.
I think that if we can get a result over Slovakia, the morale in the group will build.
Yeah.
And I think as a result of that building and Switzerland's very dicey game with Italy, I can see us winning it. I don't think it will be massively convincing again, but I think we will score two and they'll score one, 2-1.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we'll beat them as well. But people are going to sit back, and I said this earlier. I said people are going to sit back and go, "You deluded Arsenal and England fans." You say at it again. But this side of the draw, this is what we think. Like I'm actually
This is it.
thinking this. We know England better than anyone because
We
we
do.
watch England. We watch them all
We
the
do.
time. Mate.
We do. We do. And Jamie, I think it's fair to say, mate, isn't it? If we were on this other side of the draw, we would
Yeah, I'd
not be
go out.
saying this.
We're done.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
I think it's very important for viewers to see this with the specific context. The
yeah.
specific context of the matter is that we have the best chance of reaching a final possibly than we've ever had before because the
Since the
draw
last
is
Euros.
just so favourable.
Since the last Euros, mate.
Yeah,
The last Euros was Ukraine and Denmark in the quarters and the semis. So I
since
think
the
this is
last
pretty similar.
Euros. Yeah,
True.
it's true. It's true. It's very
I don't
true.
think it's that far off. Actually, maybe we had Germany, but Germany were poor then.
They were, weren't they?
They scraped out of the group.
Yeah, we did. We did. We did. And I think, yeah,
I
similar.
remember
It's
Harry Kane
similar, isn't
scored
it?
that game, didn't he?
He did. He did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
there are patterns emerging,
I
aren't
was a
there?
carer at the time, people, just to give you a little context. I was a carer at the time. I did house to house caring, looking after people. And there was a gentleman, an older geezer, as you would say. He's about 60, 70. I used to look after him. I barely used to have to do anything, just go there, make him a cup of tea. And he said, time it for the England game. So then we can watch the England Germany game together. And Kane's goal went in. I went to jump up and celebrate. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in this old geezers. I was like, I can't do it kind of thing. Like, but I do remember him scoring and then us beating Germany in that round of 16. But it could be a similar aspect here where we've had a nice little
Mm,
nice little run, gain some momentum. But we can only hope.
mm.
Let's move on over to Germany versus France. This is a big, big one, but I can only see this one possible way, and I think Germany will beat them.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I have
I
it.
think
Is the
Germany
I
are
have
better.
the William Saliba game that one?
Havertz versus Saliba. Well, that's going to be drummed up by Arsenal fans. You know it, don't you?
Yeah,
You know that
definitely.
sort of Arsenal fans are going to be foaming at the mouth for that game.
Mm,
Very mouth-watering contest in and of itself. And obviously, you've got the two Arsenal boys facing each other. So I
yeah,
think that's going to be a Germany win. Jamie, I completely agree with you. I think Germany have they've just got more, and I haven't been that convinced by the French in this tournament. I really haven't. I don't know
no,
about you,
neither have
mate.
I.
They
Neither have I.
failed to convince me that they
I
are
think
going to.
Germany will do them. I do. I generally
Yeah,
think that Germany will do them.
yeah, completely
I think
agree, mate.
Germany in this tournament look a lot stronger, a lot. But
They do.
we could change our mind. France. This is mad to sound, but I think even like I'm torn between France and Belgium still,
Yes,
just
yes,
because the
I
way that the French have come
agree.
out. But you never, they're
Uh,
just going to turn it on, ain't they? Like they will. But I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised if the French went out early in this tournament. I really wouldn't be. And they were my
it
favourite as well.
it's really difficult to say, and you're very right. You know, the France Belgium game is actually pretty evenly matched on paper. And if the French can draw against Poland, they can certainly draw against the likes of Belgium, and that could go to extra time. We don't know. But I agree with you. Germany to progress.
Yeah, my score prediction for that one, people. I'm going. This might sound so mad to some. Nah, nah, I'm not going. I'm going to go 1-0 Germany that game. What's your prediction?
I'm going to roll the dice and go with a slightly higher scoring game.
I was going to
I'm
say
going to
3-0.
take both sides to score, Jamie. 2-1
Yeah,
Germany.
you reckon?
I think so.
Yeah. So you're
Even if the
what you're
French
going
score from
2-1?
a penalty. 2-1.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Move on over. So we've got Germany in the final. People, how juicy is this? How enticing is this? Imagine Germany, and if we predict England, that is. So we'll move on over to Austria versus England.
Oh.
I think this is an extremely tight one. These are the teams we struggle against, like an Austria.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I think we beat them.
I
But
think
at
if
the
we
same
get
time,
to
I
this
wouldn't be
stage,
surprised if an underdog got to the final.
that's the mad thing about tournament football, isn't it, Jamie? You know,
Mm,
do you remember when Portugal won in, I think it was 2016?
yeah,
They came, they were very, very lucky to get through, if I remember rightly.
yeah.
I think they
So
they
what are you
started,
talking about when the Portugal win the Euros?
yes, when they won the
Yeah,
Euros, that's
they
right.
drew their first 3 games 0-0, and then
Yeah,
they didn't score a goal in 90 minutes until the semis.
that's the thing, isn't it? Isn't
Mm.
that remarkable that a
Yeah,
team can go
can
on to
happen.
win a tournament like this
Yeah, yeah,
with,
they got
with
through with
that
3
sort of
points
form?
straight through. 0-0,
Yeah,
0-0, 0-0, and then the next game afterwards, I think they won 1-0. They scored in extra time, and then the one
mad,
after
isn't
that, I
it?
think it was penalties, and then the semis, they actually won a game then in normal time.
It's mad. It's just, yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be the weirdest thing after all this criticism for Gareth Southgate and the tactics and the player selections for England to get to the semis and then win it?
Do you know what?
And
He looks like he's lined up like Adam. He's lined up all these games like we're playing against France, like he was expecting to get France.
yeah, that's a very interesting point, actually. Yeah,
That's how
that
you'd
makes
play against
sense.
France, how we've been playing.
Yeah, do you know what? You make a really interesting point there, and the thing about
Do
that
we come
is
out
when we,
now? Do we come out now differently?
I think, yeah,
Mate, but
I think,
let's take a think about this, Adam. Yeah, sorry if I keep cutting you off, but let's take a think about this. Yeah,
mm,
all them group games. Yeah, if that was a knockout round,
yeah,
we didn't look like they didn't look like they were going to score against us. We didn't look like we were going to score. You go, each one of them was going to penalties.
well,
So
yeah,
we could have
yes,
the potential to actually do well. All we need is one goal and then just sit back like we've been doing. As mad as it sounds, because it's England, but it's worked and we've gone through the group, top of the group. It's actually worked, hasn't it? Necessarily because we've topped the group.
well, yeah, yeah,
If
yeah,
we did
yeah,
that in the knockout rounds, if we carried on that way, whether we come out, we want to come out flying, and if we play still that same way, as mad as this sounds, we might actually go and win 1-0, 1-0, and draw extra time.
mm,
As mad as it
yeah,
sounds, but I'm going for an Austria England 2-0 over Austria. I don't
yeah.
think
I
we'll
think
concede against Austria.
no. I think the point you make is a very sound one because tournament football, as we were just saying with Portugal, you don't need to score a glut of goals to win
Yeah,
games. You just need
no.
to win the game. Doesn't matter how you do it. And I think if we get to this point of the competition, that we will win. So I think England will beat Austria if we get to this point.
Hmm. So we get to the juiciest of juiciest finals or game in our lifetime. 100%. That's the
Good.
juiciest one in our lifetime. Because England,
Yeah.
Italy, we didn't expect that anyway. We did not expect it. But like Germany versus England, wow. Wow, imagine that. Everyone, it needs to be a public holiday. It needs to be a bank holiday. If it's Germany versus England, it's going to be an
Yeah.
absolute. Do you remember when we played Italy? And if we won, there was serious rumours that we would have the next day off. Do you remember that?
I do remember it. I do remember it very
Yeah.
well.
Mm,
We were all heartbroken to lose and not to get the day off as well.
yeah, we bottled that final 100%. We bottled it. We were 1-0 up, and
Agree.
we just and that was a poor Italy team as well.
It
Poor
was.
Italy team.
It was. It
We should
was.
have
It
won that
was. That
game.
was.
But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah. We should have won.
yeah,
Should have
100%.
won.
I can only see this going one way, to be honest. I don't. I know I might go. Oh, England might win it. We ain't going to the final in Germany on Germany's home soil and beating them. No chance.
No.
No
No.
chance. I'm writing us off here, and it sounds so bad. I'll go there and I'll be positive and go, yeah, we can win this. But sitting here on a podcast judging it like this,
Yeah.
there's no chance.
No.
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 Unfortunately, people, that's what I think, and I think it would be quite comprehensive as well. I think it'd be a 2-0 Germany win.
Yeah. Yeah,
Two early
that's that.
goals, two in the first half, kill the game off, done.
Yeah, I think that's a sound prediction. I think, yeah, I don't see us scoring, and I can see them grinding us down and winning fairly comprehensively. Sadly,
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So I'm going to pull the screen away. We had Germany as the winners. That's how it ended up. Everyone's seen. I don't know why it's not clicking off. Stop sharing screen. Um, I don't know how people feel about this, but in the comments, people do us all a favor. Why is that not gone away yet? There we go. Do us all a favor by commenting the whole way through. So if you're watching this now, the whole way through, when we're predicting them, you can put your predictions in and then work out who you would get for the finals. And we'd love to see that. We'd love to see in the comments someone going, each game we're talking about Spain versus Georgia. Even if you fancy Georgia, you can put in the comment Georgia for the first one, this one for the second one, this one. We'd love to see it. And I'd comment back straight away to you because I'm very very interactive with people, very very much so. Adam knows this on my TikTok. I have a lot of people comment on my stuff. I've got quite a lot of followers. Not bragging, just saying. But I do comment back to literally probably 95% of people,
yeah,
maybe 96%, maybe more,
yeah,
because I
yeah,
try and interact with everyone, every
yeah,
single person. But ultimately, we have got Germany to win the Euros and England to make it to the final. That's just because of the bracket draw. Don't call us deluded, Arsenal and England fans, either or either. Any last touches on this? What are you thinking, bro?
yeah. I think it's hard to see past the Germany win, isn't it? I think Germany are just so strong, and I can see them walking through the tournament fairly comprehensively and winning it. I suppose the only caveat to that is football is so unpredictable. And
Yeah,
we just don't know, do we? But I think it's hard to see past the strong teams, the teams with the tournament expertise. um, but then anything could happen. But I agree with the prediction that Germany will win it. I think it's highly likely they will win it. And wouldn't it be the strangest thing if, despite how poor England have been, they do get to a final? But that would be a second heartbreak in 4 years.
yeah. At least we're making it to finals. But
At least we're making it to
do you know
final.
what I've been saying on my TikTok live all night, brother? I've been saying the rejuvenation of Gareth Southgate. Bring back the waistcoat. Bring back the waistcoat, my bro. Tell Southgate, Gareth, mate. If you listen to me right now, yeah, pull on that waistcoat. We need ya. We need that. Looking back on where we first met. I cannot escape and I cannot forget. Southgate, you're the one. You still turn me on. Football's coming home again. Go on, Southgate. Bring the waistcoat back out. I've even sung a song for you. You never see that. You heard it here first on Footy Talks Show. You've heard Jamie Waffles Footy absolutely waffling Atomic Kitten. But there you have it, people. um, I'm going to touch on one last thing while we're all cheery and all happy is mental health awareness. I always say, people, check in on someone today, whether it's a friend or a loved one, whether you're on the bus or on the train listening to me with your headphones in right now. Take your headphones in, take your headphones out, and check in on the person next to you, someone you haven't spoke to in a while. It could be anyone, even if you're on social media and you know that someone's struggling a little bit and you spoke to them recently. Check in on them today, because mental health ultimately is a killer. Any last words, Adam?
No, I'd just like to add to that, Jamie, because
Yeah, go on.
it's really, really important what you say, and it can make a comprehensive difference for somebody to feel listened to feel understood, and to feel like they've got, the support of a friend
Hmm.
or a family member, or even, as you rightly suggest, a stranger. It can make such a massive difference. So I completely endorse that message, and it's a really important one, everybody. So please do take our advice on that. It's so important to be kind and understanding. It's a tough world at times, and we've all got to support each other. I'd also like to thank you, Jamie, because you've done some amazing work setting all of this up.
It
Um,
looks quite nice,
this guy,
don't it?
this guy can do everything. Everybody, just want to say that. Give this guy the props here, because this backdrop was all him. It's a fantastic effort.
Yeah, it looks
Everything
alright. It's
looks
looking good.
absolutely amazing. So um, he's the man. Everybody,
Brother.
go and follow him, and
Yeah,
give him and us and me
yeah.
your support.
That moves me on over to our plugs. So,
Yeah.
um, obviously, predominantly, this is going to be on the Footy Talk Show, which is going to be a playlist over on Jamie Waffles Footy, but it's both of our channels. I'm Jamie Waffles Footy on YouTube and on TikTok, where you probably more than likely have come over from. It's J Gunner 17. Drop your plugs, my brother.
Yep. So I'm AGN Entertainment. As you can see on the screen, AGN Entertainment on YouTube. I'm AGN Football on TikTok. So yeah, would be great to have your support. As Jamie rightly said, three-punch combination: like, subscribe, comment.
Yeah,
Absolutely endorse what Jamie says about getting back to comments. He really does. He's excellent. He replies to every single comment on TikTok, which is absolutely outstanding effort, by the way.
yeah.
Given you've got so many supporters. And I try to do the same on YouTube. I haven't really done much of the TikTok live, but I will be. And I will also do my best to get back to you. So would love your support, and we'd be great to see you on both of our channels.
Lovely, lovely message, my brother. Well, everyone, stay blessed and peace.